Alright, last problem. We've seen these before. This is going to be one centered off the origin. We're going to have to complete the square. But same thing we did with our ellipses, or our circles. Group your x's and your y's together. And I'm going to already factor out this negative that's in the y's. And so, because I ultimately want it, and actually I need to change this to a minus from before, because it's an ellipse. I mean, hyperbola. And so, we've got 4y squared, and I'm going to take out a negative 4. So that leaves y squared. Negative 16 minus divided by negative 4 is a positive 4y. And then we moved 11 to the other side. So, completing the square again, I want to get down to x minus, I take half the middle term, squared. So half of 2 is 1, 1 squared is 1. And so I add 1 here, and I add 1 here. That becomes x minus 1, which factors into x minus 1 squared. Minus 4 times half of 4 is 2, 2 squared is 4, so I'm really adding 4 here. But I don't add 4 to the other side, because if I were to distribute this negative 4 back in, I would actually have a negative 16 there. And so I want to subtract 16. And then I have y plus 2 squared. So that's 12 minus 16 is a negative 4. And now to get a 1 on this side, I divide by negative 4. I get a 1. So I get x minus 1 squared over negative 4. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 is a positive 1. So I just get y plus 2 squared. And so one last thing. This is a negative, so I'm going to flip-flop these so that the y is first. Y plus 2 squared. Subtract x minus 1 squared over negative 4. And I'm going to put 1 underneath these. Alright, so the center is 1, comma, negative 2. Opposite and opposite, just like we've been doing with h and k's. So 1, negative 2. It opens up and down, and since I use this negative right here, I'm going to erase this negative 4. It's gone. So I go up and down 1. Up and down 1. So our vertices would be 1, negative 1, and 1, negative 3. And I went up and down because the y squared was first. Our box, if we were to draw our box, would go left and right 2. And we would have a little box like that. And you could do that, and it's going to open down and down. Sorry, this really ended up being tiny. My apologies. But we're plotting our points over here so you can see that. So, our foci. C squared equals a squared plus b squared. So, c squared equals 1 plus 4. It doesn't matter which order you add them in because they're the same thing. Remember, these are already squared values, and so you don't have to square them again. So c squared is 5, and so c is the square root of 5. And so I'm going to go up and down the square root of 5. So it's still going to be centered at 1, but then from negative 2, I'm going to add square root of 5. I'm going to go up square root of 5. And from negative 2, I'm going to go down square root of 5. You could also get approximate values for these, but it's not that important. But so we'll go up and down about 2.5. So you could go 1, 2, and there's your focus. And 1, 2, and a little bit, and there's your focus. And there you have hyperbolas.